Charles Louis Mortgage Advisors, 0161 959 0166.
Well, certainly hats off to the ground staff. I mean, they came and cleared the whole pitch. It looked at one point as if they were just going to do the lines, maybe to clean the 2 penalty areas. Lee Jackson needs a shout out here because he's the head groundsman at the Etihad. And I don't know, do you go back far enough for Stan Gibson, Nicky? Or,
No,
have you had a relationship with groundsmen in the past?
Yeah, no, Lee, obviously. He was there when I was there at Main Road and obviously at the Etihad as well. But yeah, I've heard of Stan Gibson. But yeah, it was before my time.
Lee's been there now longer than Stan, and if he was here now, and he wouldn't be allowed to come on the podcast because he works for the club, but he has said to me privately, I hope I'm not revealing anything here, but I think he begrudges the fact that Stan always gets a shout, Stan Gibson, from those old days, when Lee Jackson's probably done it longer and frankly better than Stan did, because, you know, he goes, and you know what? He's at every away game, Lee, as well. He's a proper home and awayer. He's a proper blue. Did you actually talk to him about anything like that when you knew him, Nick?
Not really. I'm always, pictures. I'm always interested in the pictures. It's sort of. I mean, the training facilities and everything now that the players train on are unbelievable. But the pitches they play on are absolutely staggering. There's not a blade of grass out of place. And I even like the bit at City. I call it the Mickey Mouse ears, where at the corner flags. So there's a little bit, so they're not straight onto the AstroTurf. And like at Old Trafford, for example, the pitch slopes off, so it's really difficult to take a corner. So City have obviously mastered that problem. But yeah, the pitches these days, they're just phenomenal. And they really are, like a bowling green.
I'm trying to think back when I was watching you, because I would have seen every minute you played for City. Were there any moments when it was snowy and terrible like that and caused you problems?
I've played in some. I mean, I played for Dundee United and Aberdeen, so you don't get much colder than that. I know Earl was talking about the cold earlier. Let me tell you, winter in Aberdeen, you know about it up there. But no, for City, I had a couple called off for the rain. Did play in some snowy conditions. I remember playing at West Ham, 2006-07 season, and it was snowing. It's really off-putting, particularly for a goalkeeper, I think, because when you've got like blizzard-like conditions and it's all coming in front of you. It is difficult, but I'll just tell you a little story about when I played for Dundee United. We're playing Aberdeen, and it was snowing. And during half time, we've obviously gone in for the team talk and everything. I've come back out, and the away fans at Tannadice, it was like outside behind the stand, so it snowed. It had covered it all. So I've come out at half time, ran up to the away fans, and they've all started pelting me with snowballs. So, and one got me, there's a picture of me, one got me right on the side of the head. And then a few years later, I signed for Aberdeen, and about 50 people claimed to have thrown the snowball that hit me. So, but it's something just a little bit novel, and you always remember days in the snow. And I think it brings the kid out in everybody. But it's certainly very off-putting, particularly for goalkeepers when when obviously I've seen some of the clips from today's game, and it was like a blizzard. And obviously, ultimately Burnley's game was postponed as well. And I remember when I was at Dundee United, we played Hamilton. And at 2:30, everything was fine. It started snowing at 2:55, and they called the game off at 2:45. It would just come down, a deluge of it. And I just remember a guy with a shovel going up the line, and as he's going up the line, it's just filling up behind him. And I think we had a massive snowball fight and went home. So yes, I've had some good days in the snow, but yeah, very tricky for goalkeepers, I think.
The good thing about a snowball hitting you on the side of the head, Nick, is that as a goalkeeper, the myth is that goalkeepers go in goal because they haven't got not much between the ears anyway. So a snowball wouldn't have done you much damage, would it?
No, I think all the damage has been done for me. I think you've got to be mad to be a goalkeeper, and they don't seem to be as mad as they used to be. But yeah, you've certainly got to have a screw loose, I think.
How did you end up in goal then? Was it because you were rubbish outfield? I mean, that's a nice.
I was okay outfield, but I probably wouldn't have been a professional footballer. But we had a goalkeeper, probably under 11s, and he was really small, and he kept getting chipped. And then I was the sort of tallest in the team, so I went in goal one day, and that was it, really. So So I'd actually bumped into that kid the other week. I've not seen for 30 years, but I bumped into him and I didn't recognise him when he come and introduced himself to me. And so it all started for me when I was about 11 or 12. But it's amazing though, because, I never had any coaching or anything. Never, I sort of played for the Mansfield's first team, got a move to Man City, and no one had ever told me what to do, where to stand, how to catch it.
Wow. Wouldn't happen like that nowadays.
No, so I worked it all out for myself. Where now, the kids in academies, they're getting goalkeeping training at 7, 8, and 9.
The irony is you're a goalkeeper coach now, aren't you?
Yeah, so I am. So I suppose it's just a natural progression for a goalkeeper to sort of go into goalkeeping coaching, really. I'm lucky enough I do it at my hometown club, Sheffield Wednesday, which is, the club I grew up supporting. So it's nice to pass on the little bit of knowledge, I sort of gathered on my 20-year playing career. None of the young lads now can remember me playing, though. I'm a bit, I don't think they can remember David Beckham. Everything seems to be, they only know the players who are playing now. And when some of the lads, I deal with the 17, 18-year-olds, and they're born in, 2004, 2005. It makes you feel old.
What do you say then as a goalkeeper coach about Edison? Because it's funny because Ralph Rangnick's been quoted this week. He's potentially going to take over at United. And the quote I heard was, keep it away from the goalkeeper. That's the danger zone. Don't play it back to the goalkeeper. Where, of course, Pep brought in Claudio Bravo straight away to be a footballing goalkeeper. And now Edison is that ultimate footballing goalkeeper. So what do you say to your keepers?
Well, we like to play out from the back, but I'm a bit more no risk sort of thing. He's knocking it, Edison's passing it out to world-class players at different levels of football. It's not always like that. But I think Edison, I think he's taken goalkeeping to another level. I call it goalkeeping on the edge. He plays really high, sweeps up, and his distribution is just, he never gives the ball away. I'm sure he could play as a sitting midfielder. He just never gives it away. And when I was at the game last week, I always go early just to watch him in the warm-up as well. And he's just incredible. He does one exercise in the warm-up where he gets the ball on the edge of his box or in his box, just does a little light sidewinder kick, which is the modern way the old goalkeepers kick it. And the goalkeeping coach just walks across the halfway line, and he never has to break stride. And he'll kick it to his hands. He'll take another 3 or 4 steps, kick it to his hands all the way across. It's unbelievable. And what I do like about him is he looks long as well. So he's not just really good with his short game. His first look is quite often, can we get it in behind? And I think he played one a few weeks ago to Phil Foden, which was, that 70-yard pass. It was, on a sixpence. So he's incredible. But he's not just good with his feet, he's good with his hands as well. So, he really has got the lot.